Welcome everyone to this quick overview of GlobalProtect Cloud Services integration. We're going to quickly go through what's required, how to enable and use, and how to verify this integration. In our environment, we have an active CloudGenix location. This location has 2 internet circuits, and the location is successfully passing traffic. If we look at stats, we can see we are seeing traffic to the internet from this location using those 2 circuits, and we're seeing successful transactions going through. In addition, we also have a Palo Alto panorama configured for GlobalProtect Cloud Service. The panorama has an infrastructure subnet set. It has the license key for panorama and GlobalProtect Cloud Services installed. And lastly, we have a host to run our integration container. To enable the GlobalProtect integration, the first thing we're going to do is install the CloudGenix GlobalProtect Cloud Service Integration extension. If this extension does not appear in your user interface, please open a case with support so we can add it for you. We need to give some information that's required for the extension to run. One of the basic required items is the IP address or the host name of the on-premise panorama. The second thing is an admin username. Third and fourth items are email addresses that will be used for authentication between CloudGenix devices and the GlobalProtect tunnels. Next, we need a range that will be used for the inter-tunnel IP addresses. This range must be unique across the network, and it can't overlap with the service range for GPCS. Next, the remaining few items are license selection tweaks that can be done. I'm going to only modify one thing here. I'm going to say the maximum license that can be used is 5 megabits across the network. Great. Now that the extension has been installed, we need to go to the next step, which is configuring the extension container. For more information on configuring the extension container, simply go to the hot link provided here. And on the CloudGenix support portal, you'll find a knowledge-based document and guide that will have more detail on the actual extension container configuration. Moving forward, we'll quickly go through and configure the container. In my container host, I have created 2 directories. I've created an app log and a config directory. In the config directory, I have created a config.yaml file that has my configuration information from my network. The configuration information that's required is listed in the example of the file referenced earlier in the support site. This file needs to have 4 main items. Number 1, it needs to have a pre-shared key for the integration tunnels to use. Number 2, it needs to have a password for the panorama user that we specified earlier in the extension configuration. Number 3, it needs a GPCS API key generated from Panorama using the Generate API key location. And finally, it will need a CloudGenix authentication token to use to integrate with the CloudGenix extension. The CloudGenix authentication token can be generated from the System Administration Auth Tokens page. Going back to the container host, we're going to simply paste in the Docker launch configuration command from the integration guide. This command will automatically download and run the Docker container for GlobalProtect integration using the directories we created earlier. Great, the container is downloaded and running. Now that we've enabled the integration and got the container up and working, let's start building tunnels and putting traffic through those tunnels. So as part of the integration, the system automatically created what are called third-party endpoints for CloudGenix for all of the GlobalProtect Cloud Service data centers. Also, GPCS service groups were automatically created as well. I'm going to quickly populate these with the data centers I want to use active and backup for each region. Also, we can see that an IPsec profile was automatically created as well by integrating the two systems. In addition, on the panorama, a CloudGenix IKE profile and a CloudGenix IPsec profile was automatically created as well. Now, to start building tunnels using these profiles, we simply needed to add a few configuration items to the site locations. First, we're going to add a tag to the branch to say it is in scope for GlobalProtect Cloud Service. This GPCS enabled tag tells the integration that this site should be integrated. Now for the second part of the integration, we're going to go to the internet interfaces, and we're going to add another tag that states which region this interface should connect to. And that's all we need to do. With this configuration, we're now automatically going to build tunnels from these specified interfaces directly to the GPCS region. If we take a look at Panorama, we can see that automatically we have created the IKE gateways, IPsec tunnels, and remote network onboardings needed for these tunnels. Now, after a few minutes, once the tunnels have fully propagated into GPCS, they'll automatically be created on the CloudGenix side as well. And we can verify the operational state of the tunnels. Now that the tunnels are up and connected, we want to steer traffic to start using these tunnels. I'm going to take our current policy that sends traffic direct to internet and make a copy of it. I'm also going to create a GPCS exception. First, in the policy, I'm going to change the default rules to use third-party VPNs for all traffic. And then I'm going to say third-party VPNs must use the active backup GPCS regions. Next, I'm going to go to my exception policy and add a rule for any traffic I don't want to use GPCS. Now I'm going to apply this rule to the site. And that's it. All of my traffic for the site should now be taking GlobalProtect. As a quick verification, we can simply go to the Activity tab and validate the traffic is taking the new third-party VPN tunnels from this site. That's all for today. For more information, please check out the links below. Thanks for attending.